I was lying in bed asleep and I woke up with my heart on fire, basically pumping right out of my chest. So good, but then you're just saying, why is this still happening? So you do have that worry, I suppose, because I've never had anything like this before. It's been absolutely fine. I've never had any issues with my heart or my lungs. Like, I'm fit, healthy, and it's absolutely floored me. It's nearly annoying. I know obviously restrictions are being lifted, but when you can see everyone out and you just feel, please just adhere to it, I can stay in a little bit longer and everything like that, because they'd think, oh, you're going to be fine, it's like a flu, you'll never even know you have it. And then this is a month later and I'm here in a hospital bed when I should be at work.
And I was out one night, I was out with my friend in London, and the casting agent who was casting for the video just emailed me and said, here, do you want to be in an Ed Sheeran video? And I was like, yeah, all right. And it was going to be on my birthday, 12th of April, just so you know. And yeah, and I did it, and it was brilliant. And he filmed the whole thing. He had like a camera on a rig, and we just ran around Galway for an entire night. And he had like, because he's huge everywhere, but he's beloved in Ireland. Like, everyone loves him so much. And so all of Galway just like followed us around from place to place.
After being 23, I'd be experiencing that feeling of kind of an impending sense of doom, is the only way I can describe it. You don't know what's coming, you know it's bad, and you don't know if you'll ever bounce back from it. I thought I was indestructible this time last year, completely. We didn't know what was coming around the corner for us. I was playing 3 sports in college for 4 or 5 years. I climbed Kilimanjaro 2 years gone. I climbed Carntool this time last year. I've been playing tag rugby in Cork as an intern. So like, my baseline is incredible. I thought I was indestructible at 23 years of age. I
used to have a big, huge, fancy car. Lovely big thing, but it didn't suit me. And I know it didn't suit me because every time I drove past my reflection in the shop window, I said, who's that arsehole? We built the most amazing hotels when we had cash. Huge things. You walk down into the foyer and there's a chandelier the size of the Starship Enterprise. And you go, am I in Vegas? Am I? And you walk out the door and you go, no, I'm in Limerick. They're 5-star hotels, but we're only 2-star people.
Dr. Green! Oh my God, it's Rachel's dad! What are you doing here?
What, the father can't drop by to see the daughter on her birthday?
Oh, no, the father can. But, since I am the roommate, I can tell you that she's not here, and I'll pass along the message, okay? So, bye-bye.
Oh, you're having a party!
No, not a party. Just a surprise gathering of some people Rachel knows. Hi, Mom. Chinese menu guy. Forgot the menus.
So, basically, just a Chinese guy.
Hey, Dr. Green, why don't you come with me? We'll put your jacket on Rachel's bed.
All right. That sounds like a 2-person job.
Well, my goodness, what was that? Sandra, I am so sorry. You know, I thought you were Rachel, and we just weren't ready for you yet.
You thought I was Rachel?
Yes, because you look so young.
And because you're both, you know, white women.
Funniest thing happened to me on the way here. I was driving.
That's great. I can't wait to hear the rest of it. You know, I really have to go to the bathroom. So, hey, come with me.
Zoe and Chandler, I think it's time that you take Dr. Green over to your place.
Yes, absolutely. Why again?
Because that's where the party is, you goon. See, this is just the staging area.
Right, it's a staging area.
This more than anything else is the staging area.
This is clearly in the wrong apartment.
Open up!
We'll discuss it in the morning.
What the hell is going on?
We took our apartment back.
I had nothing to do with it. Okay, it was my idea, but I don't feel good about it.
Oh!
not sharing with the But what that might be referring to is when I did The Grinch, I was literally, the makeup was like being buried alive every day.
How long did it take?
The first day was 8.5 hours. And I went back to my trailer and put my leg through the wall. And I told Ron Howard I couldn't do the movie. And then Brian Grazer came in, and being the fix-it man, and came up with a brilliant idea, which was to hire a gentleman who is trained to teach CIA operatives how to endure torture. And so that's how I got through The Grinch. I would like, it was, it was quite hilarious. He said, eat everything you see, and if you're freaking out and you start to spiral downward, turn the television on, change a pattern, have someone you know come up and smack you in the head, you know, punch yourself in the leg, so it was, or smoke as much as you possibly can. So I was this Grinch sitting eating. Give me a light. And this giant cigarette holder, so the yak hair wouldn't go on fire.
I'm going to talk to you about some things that I've learned in my journey. Most from experience, some of them I heard in passing, many of them I'm still practicing, but all of them I do believe are true. Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. So the question that we got to ask ourselves is what success is to us? What success is to you? Is it more money? That's fine. I got nothing against money. Maybe it's a healthy family. Maybe it's a happy marriage. Maybe it's to help others, to be famous, to be spiritually sound, to leave the world a little bit better place than you found it. Continue to ask yourself that question. Now, your answer may change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character.
That's something I'll do before scenes to relax myself, get my voice to drop. And I've been doing it for a while, but it's just something I do to relax myself, get out of my head. And I was doing it before the scene, and then I'd start the scene. We do 5 takes. I'm happy. Martin's happy. We're about to move on. And before we moved on, Leonardo raised his hand. He goes, hey, hang on a second. He goes, what's that thing you're doing before the scene? And I told him, and he goes, what if you put that in the scene? I was like, yeah, great. So the next scene, I started it off, then gave him my Mark Hanna spiel, and didn't know if it was going to come back, and it hit me in my head. I was like, oh, well, now get him on the same rhythm, because now he understands, pass the torch. And then started it off.
Yeah, mate, yeah, they're just cruising around the Darwin.
Where did you find it?
What's that, the croc or the snake?
No, the croc.
Mate, we got a few of these snakes getting around Darwin. The thing is that people just got to be aware that they don't run them over during the wet season when they all come out at night time. So beautiful big olive python, and I've had her for quite a few years now. Quite a very quiet snake.
Beautiful stuff. Now, what about the croc? You've seen a lot of big crocs in your time, but this one, whoa.
Yeah, that's quite a large croc there, Carl. That was on when we were filming season 3 for Outback Wrangler. He's definitely one of the biggest that we've caught. We caught probably about 3 that size last year, and a couple of them we managed to tag, release, put satellite trackers on them and release them again. But some of these big fellas, when they do cause a problem on cattle stations, instead of them getting shot, I have to catch them and remove them. They sometimes end up in parks, but we're trying to manage that and put a few more tags and satellite trackers on them. And,
what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys enjoy this very much. I'm going to show you today how to cook a sensational Indian dish for $4 and under. Yes, you heard that right. $4. Guys, let me just show you exactly what we are cooking today. Hey guys, the first thing we're going to do is cut the chicken. Sorry about the dishes and everything that you see here, guys. Like I said, we're in the middle of moving. be wary about that. And you use a little bit of oil, depends on what oil you want to use. You can use whatever you like, preferably not a strong oil, because the stronger the oil you use, the more flavors gets taken out of the actual sauce itself, and you can taste the oil. So preferably an oil that's not so strong. Very important, guys. 2020, we have to wash our hands with soap. Very, very important. Just a quick tip too, guys. When you do cut, make sure you're holding your food like this. It's not focused. Make sure you hold your food like this with your fingers, and you're cutting. You're not necessarily pushing with force. So you're pushing slightly going forward, but when you pull the knife back to cut the food, that is when you put a little bit extra force down. Never cut going forward, you always cut going backwards. It just produces a finer and more accurate cut. It's not. Mistake people make as well, guys, is that they actually put a lid on top of their chicken, and what it does, it creates so much moisture inside of there. It makes the chicken so gluggy and watery. That's what we don't want. We want to brown and sear the outside of the chicken, turn it down, and then add the lid. We don't add the lid straight away. Never do that, guys. That's one tip.
At this point in a usual kind of album campaign, I would be out doing gigs all over Europe. I would be doing massive promo trips and doing as many interviews and TV shows and visiting radio stations, but you just can't do any of that. So when you think of a venue like the Barrowlands, to put a gig on in here, there's probably about 50, 60, even more people working behind the scenes.
And
just
what I love
to put
about
the
it
gig
is
on.
the light changes every time. It's a different journey every time. Look at that. You can see how even in the breaks in the cloud. I suppose part of what I feel is I look at places across there and I kind of fantasise. I go, imagine living over there. And it's a good fantasy, but then you sort of realise that there's no shops and you'll be dead in a week.
If you see me looking down, it's just because I've got my notepad here. And the first thing I'm going to do is read out a list of words, and then I'm going to let you hear how Rhiannon says them. The next question is, do you roll your R's? I'm not sure. I think that maybe with some words I roll my R's, but the word that she uses as an example is burglar. So you'll hear her say that, and then you can compare
Well,
the two.
the first thing I would say is that the current crisis that we're in has shown the powers of the Scottish Government in a much more public way than possibly since the establishment of the Scottish Parliament.
Particularly when I'm on the hill, I stand up, look round and think this is absolutely fantastic. I take my role as a farmer very seriously here. We're hugely proud of the environmental benefits that we gain from the cattle we have on the ground. I mean, the biodiversity that brings for all sorts of plants and fauna and other animals that's there. Cattle do a great job of that.
Most of these are my personal favourites. Not all of them were necessarily massive when they came out, although many of them were, but they're films that I really, really enjoyed. So we'll start off with films or genres that are suitable for a beginner level, move on to pre-intermediate, and then intermediate
We'll
to
curtsy
advanced.
now. So would you like to show me your natural curtsy, please, Chelsea? Okay, yes, so your hands have gone out like so. No need to do that, actually. You can keep your hands by the side. So one behind the other, bend to the knees, and drop the head. Yes, sort of, a little bit loose. And then for men, if you were a man, you would just nod the head like
yeah,
so.
the thing I find most tricky is when people don't recognise you particularly, but half recognise you. You know, it's that strange thing of where they go... and of course that means they stare. They stare a lot, and they just look. A few years ago, there was I was in a Land Rover parts department near Peterborough, the kind of place you find me on most Saturdays. You could see this guy doing that. And he came up to me after a while and he said, "Excuse me, has anyone ever told you that you're the absolute spitting image of that Mr. Bean?" And I said, "Well, actually, I am the actor who plays Mr. Bean." And he said, "I bet you wish you were."
When I'm having a bad day, my friend Sophie will send me the David Beckham skit that you did with the no thumbs, and it just makes my day better.
That's what I was offered. Obviously, other people are being offered different things. You know, it was always that or the supportive wife. And I thought, you know, I'm quite supportive at home. I don't need to play that at work as well.
Exactly. First and foremost,
we need to implement the current constitution fully, and then now bring in some good elements that are contained in the PBI and inject it in after the implementation of the constitution. But these posts you are talking about, Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, we really do not need those posts. There are 42 tribes, and these are only hardly 5 posts. Unless, of course, you have to share all the ministerial posts. Each post for one tribe, ministerial post, and also the principal secretary's post. But one thing that should be cast away and thrown to the rubbish pit and banned is the CAS position. We do not need that position. It's not in the constitution. It was brought in just for political
hi guys.
reasons.
My name is Masi Bande. How do we say this? I don't want to say welcome to my channel, like everybody likes saying welcome to my channel, because you all know you are welcome. So why should I again tell you? You're welcome to my channel. No, you are welcome. Feel free. Me, I'll tell you, feel free
This
at home.
program is actually meant to support pastoralists become resilient and become resilient to shocks that actually face the communities living in the ASAs through diversified livelihood options, and also supporting them access markets and linkages to other service providers. So in this LEADS program, World Vision's objective is to support pastoral communities access premium and better markets.
I've already tried, but I'd love to master a headstand. Let me show you.
Okay.
And
It's been a real pleasure for me to be here this evening to celebrate creative talent here in Hong Kong. My congratulations to all the winners this evening. But equally, my congratulations to all of those who were nominated but did not win, because I felt watching their bits of film that their work was as good actually. So I congratulate
Actually, because
them.
we shot this film a year ago, like we started shooting last May. So I feel like when I was watching the film, I didn't even feel like it was me because we shot it so long back. So a lot of people were like, oh, did you feel weird watching yourself on screen? But I didn't even think it was me, because I feel like I've grown so much just as a person and just by being on set, because shooting student was my first experience ever being on a set as well. So everything that I've learned about films is on the sets of student. So I
Hello,
think,
my name
yeah,
is
I think-
Anbu and welcome to my
Taj
YouTube
is my
channel.
best friend, and she designed the sari that was the closest to my heart in my engagement, and she's been a really dear friend ever since. And today when I saw the show, I almost teared up because she works really, really hard, and she's a perfectionist, and she has great quality and beautiful designs, and I'm so proud to be here to celebrate with her.
I from 2004-5, I always wanted to make films. I wanted to tell. I wanted to write. I wanted to make those. And that excited me more than anything else. I kind of thought like, okay, here is a chance where I've always been a director's actor.
Yeah.
What he or she wants, I've been very disciplined and I've just given that.
My favorite TV program, I would say it's Shield. Yeah, which is a American TV series that's made by a very famous movie production called Marvel. So
Okay.
the quality of the movies, the TV series is very good. So I like it.
This morning I woke up at 6 a.m. and did a bit stretching and have a very healthy breakfast. Then just prepare for the interview today.
Because needle, I know it's coming.
Right. Oh, wow.
Yeah. When I jump, maybe I'm not get hurt. Maybe I save this time. Yeah, do it. Jump. Ow. Ooh.
Yeah.
Needle coming really goes in.
So
I am just gonna make my first video in English, as I'm just going to introduce myself to community in English, because I'm studying English. I've been studying English for a long time, but I never really spoken English to native speakers, and I just wanted to know how many mistakes I make, how it is my
My mother who cry in the TV when she felt the Berlin walls destroyed by the people. Because the idea, without marketing and commercial structure, the results are not good. But for a country, this is also the representation of
Decided to open this channel to improve the languages that I study, for the moment English and French, and also the pronunciation. Let's start speaking about me. I am 16 years old and I practice hip-hop, ballet, modern and contemporary dance. I also study piano and love music so much. I like to play PSP, PlayStation, Wii, and a lot of games that boys like too. I really love traveling, and I'd like to know English or American people to talk with.
Yeah, sure.
Especially after we shot the scene of the cathedral, which is so dark and it was so tough to do.
Yeah.
I just wanted to run away from there. And
did you?
But of course, you separate fiction from reality as much as you can, but there is that part of you that, of course, is gonna get affected. And
yeah, but y'all work together a lot.
A lot, but it's only our second time like we were together being already a couple, and these characters are pretty intense.
Yeah.
And he plays Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, tell people tell people what Loving Pablo is about.
So he's Pablo Escobar, and my character is Virginia Vallejo, this journalist that trained him and, in his political career, was a very important figure in that time in his life, and they spent almost 10 years together, and she tried to get out of that relationship so many times. She almost lost her life a few times. I never met her, but she sold the rights of the book. The script is based more or less on the book.
A hot air balloon, and that's our neighbor.
So you currently now live in a hot air balloon, and they've
for
been
this moment.
But
yeah.
I mean, wait. So where was this, and how did they serve you breakfast, and what?
I will tell you because I wanted to take a special trip with my daughter, just mommy and daughter, and I took her to Morocco,
cool,
which I love, and I've never been in a hot air balloon, and so we had breakfast in the little basket in the hot air balloon.
But how did you do it? Did you set it up? Did you?
I will explain. It was very impressive. First of all, you see we have all this space. On this side, there's 4 people like this, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They're operating and taking out the breakfast and all this. And, but you have to block them so you can have this very special moment with your daughter.
I came here because one man, actually was the director of the movie, sat in front of me, and I just not that. I was actually very shy.
Okay.
And so I stayed there just saying, yes. Yes. The guy may have said to me, can I throw you out of the window? I would have said, yes. And at the end, I learned a monologue that was, I can do that.
What I don't want to see is European countries increasing the budget in defense in my country. I do believe that we have a strong identity, but I'm a strong believer in cooperation between the different peoples. And I'm a strong believer of
welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. Before I go a little bit more further in this video, I need to ask you straight away, subscribe, like, comment. Oh, and trust me, you are going to comment in this video because it's gonna be blood. Me and she does very similar videos as me, talk about fashion. She's a very classy lady and very lovely friend as well. We never met yet, but we speak on the phone almost every 2 weeks. We stay quite a few hours on the phone.
Yes, of course. Not really,
Yes, of course, very well.
In school, yes, and yes, in school,
I'm just watching some TV shows on Netflix.
I learn English in middle school and then high school. I learn English at uni and in the US.
And all the condition because it's been really pleased to be here
and first time in Vilnius, so I really hope that you're gonna enjoy the masterclass. So to start, we may be gonna get the recipes just to make sure and to understand what we're gonna do. So I've been preparing, I've been thinking about different kind of fruit and thinking about different way to adapt the fruit puree on a dessert.